Hi everyone! Sorry for not having videos last week, I had to deal with some personal stuff. But today we're going to have new videos and we're going to do the human head and how to draw faces. But I can't do it while I have this scruffy beard. So I'm going to solve that issue just right about now. So here are the top 3 tutorials to learn how to draw the human head. Let's go! The first thing to know about the human head is the shapes that form it. Not like the whole skull shape that form it, but something simpler. Now, as you know, I'm a big fan of Andrew Loomis. You can look his books, they are amazing and I highly recommend them. So when I found this tutorial, I kind of fell in love with it because it was exactly what I was looking for. Now, this tutorial is made by Micaela Katrina, and it's about the basic shapes of the human head. You know, just start with a ball and then with some extra shapes for the jaw, and that's pretty much it. You know, to begin with. Once you know that, you can start moving into more complex shapes. Like, for example, you start thinking about the skull because, well, this is the thing. And hear me out for a minute. Most of the people that draw the human head, they start by, well, you know, using a lot of reference and using pictures and using models, and that's actually really good. But here what we're trying to learn is how to not just learn how to draw a face, but learn how to draw a face and a head without using any reference. If you want to do that, you have to learn all the underlying structures that are under the skin. I'm not going to skill myself to show you that, so I'm going to use some other reference. The importance of knowing how the skull is shaped is so you can know where the cheekbone goes and what is the cheekbone's relation with the eye socket and the brow, and you know where the jaw goes, how it relates to where the ear starts, and all of that stuff. So here I found a tutorial by someone that goes by the name of Mr. K. This one is actually a paid tutorial. I don't know if you should pay for it, but that's not important. What is important is that it uses some basic shapes to form a skull so you can see where the lips and the nose and the eyes go in a head using the skull as a reference. Is that too complicated? I know it sounds complicated, but it's going to get easier. As you will see in this tutorial, using some basic reference of how the skull is shaped is going to make drawing the face a lot easier in the future. You can use this just as practice. You know, this doesn't mean that you have to draw a skull every time you're going to draw a face, but if you do it a few times just to practice, you're going to get a lot more comfortable because you're going to understand the shapes that form this face, you know? Now, if you want to practice the skull, I'm going to give you something that I found that is pretty awesome, and that is a 3D skull that you can actually turn and shape and use for practice. This one is done by Rafa Sousa, and you can turn it around, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, you can use it as reference. And if you know how to use the print screen button and Photoshop, you can try drawing on top of it and try to put some elements of the faces like the nose and the lips and the eyes and maybe some hair if you dare. And last, the thing is that I didn't want to move on to realistic face because I think that is going to be a bit too complex. So I think that for the time being, we're going to stay with a cartoony face. And this tutorial by Der Schinghermler, it's about using some basic shapes to start drawing elements of the face. I liked this tutorial in particular because it also uses some shapes in the skull to show you where the mouth should be, and if you're drawing an open mouth, where the teeth should be, and all of that reference that is going to become real handy when you try to do expressions. Because of course you can draw, you know, you can get the skull that looks like nothing, and trying to draw a face making an expression on top of a skull can get difficult. But using some basic shapes and a basic idea of the eyes and the nose and the mouth, you can start moving it around and try to draw some expressions on a face. Because just a static resting bitch face is a bit boring, isn't it? And last, just like I showed you the 3D skull that you can practice with, I also found this actually pretty amazing 3D face for you to use as reference when drawing. So please use it. I think it's amazing. It's by Oliver Custon. If you want to start drawing some cartoony faces before going on to something more serious and realistic, you can use this bust as reference, and it, is going to help you a lot to understand the shapes of the human head in a simplified manner. So that's it for today. I think this is good enough. I hope that you think that this is good enough. The next video, I'm going to go deeper into the details of how to draw a face, because I don't think that these tutorials go too much into that. So I'm going to be doing that tomorrow. Stay tuned. Remember to subscribe if you like this video and you want to see more. Remember to check all the links that are going to be linked below so you can have it all in one blog post. Remember that there's also going to be linked there a Pinterest board so you can see all other references that I found that are not included in this video. And if you like it, well, share it with your friends, share it with whoever might find it useful. I'm Javi, I can draw, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye!